Okay, so we're on the final one, and this one's going to be a fast one because, well, it's complex, but it's going to be fast because I have high school briefing in 9 minutes. Right, so let's try and get through this quick. We're using the same sort of thing as last time, where this time we have an array. Let's call it temp again. Why not? Oops. Let's call it temp, and let's imagine that it contains a whole series of numbers. Oops, let's not put too many duplicates in there. There's no real reason. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. Contains 12 numbers. We know how many elements are in this array. The exam question will be something like the array temp has 1,000 elements in it. You don't know the unsorted array. They'll need to say unsorted array, because if it was a sorted array, you would do this completely differently. There's much better ways of accessing a sorted array that make it faster. But in an unsorted array, when you don't know, so let's just make it obvious that that's unsorted. Okay. In an unsorted array, where you don't know what order things are in, there's no way that you can speed things up. You have to go sequentially through the array, searching for a number. So first of all, I'm going to input the number that I'm looking for. Okay. Then I'm going to start a loop. Now, interestingly, you would expect it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You'd expect me to say loop C from 0 to 11, wouldn't you? And go through these individual elements, because I know it's 12 times. And then end loop, and then something like if number equals temp C, should be a capital C, shouldn't it? Then output find it, something like that. And in fact, that probably would work if I'd made a silly mistake in it, but it just wouldn't be very efficient, because there are better ways of doing it. Now, the reason that wouldn't be very efficient is that even if I find number 11, let's change it to number, I'm going to put in number 4, right? Even if I hit number 4, it's still going to continue searching until the end of the array, which doesn't matter here because it happens very quickly. Look, number 4. Find it. Okay, all right. And also, it continues all the way through. Hang on a second here. If number equals temp C, can we put some spaces around that? So number I've typed in is 4, equal temp C. It shouldn't have found 4 so many times. Why did it find it so many times? Let's try it again. 4. There you go, it's better. Some silly logic error with not putting the equals space in the equals. Okay, so it has found the number 4 in there, but it actually continued, and I can even prove that by saying, look, output. I'm going to output the number that I'm looking for, like comparing, and I'm going to output the actual number that I'm currently looking at, just to prove to you that it doesn't stop when it finds the 4. So I'm going to run that there. 4, and look, it compares 1, compares 2, compares 3, compares 4, find it. Uh-oh, but it continues. And if that was a massive array, we certainly wouldn't want that to happen. We want it to stop as soon as it finds it, okay, because that was our question. So what we need to do is we need to break out of that loop when we find something. And unfortunately, this specification of pseudocode we've been given doesn't have a break like Java does. So we're going to have to make one. We're going to have to have a variable called, I'm going to call mine find it equals false. It's going to be a boolean. And that means that I'm going to have to, this loop, whether it continues or not, is going to depend on more than one thing. It's not just going to depend on the number of times, the number of elements in there. It's also going to depend on whether I've found it or not. So it can no longer be a counted loop from a number to another number. It's going to have to be a while loop. And it's going to have to look something like this. Loop while. I'm going to say not. I'll write out in long form. Find it not equal true. And now this is where I need to put some sort of a limit. I need to go from from 0 to how many elements were there? 12? 1, 2, yeah, 12 elements. Okay, so I need to go from 0 to 11. So I'll need to set up my own variable to do that. So I'm going to say counter equals 0 to begin with. And I'm now going to say counter in here. Now I've created my own variable because I'm not going to use a loop from anymore that automatically gives me a variable and increments it each time. I have to make my own now because it's a while. So I've got a counter here for my loop. I've got a variable to say whether I found it or not, and my condition is going to be while loop while found it is not equal to true, or in other words I haven't found it, and counter is less than 12 because we're going to go from 0 to 11, remember? Great. So I'm still going to have this, but instead of saying output found it, when I find the variable, I'm going to jump out of the loop by saying found it equals true. That's all I need to do, because then when I reach the end of the loop and it reevaluates that condition to see whether it's going to repeat the loop or not, found it is now going to be true. So that whole condition, which depends on this being true, this not being true, and this being less than 12, that's not going to work. So now it's going to jump out. At the very end, I'm going to print output. For now, I'm just going to say output found it, which will give me true or false at the very, very end. Okay, so I'm just going to run that. Well, obviously it didn't run. Let me just make sure I've got my spaces before my equals and after my equals. How's that look? It doesn't even get to my input number. That's weird. Oh, I need an equal. It equals up here, remember? All of your spaces and your equals need this. There we go. Try that. Something else wrong with it. Temp, have these all got commas after them? Yes, they do. Find it equals false. That's all right. Input number. That's okay. Counter equals 0. That's all right. Loop while find it not equal true, and true should, yeah, it's okay. And counter is less than 12. Good. Output comparing. Output temp counter. If number equals temp counter, then found it equals true, and if output found it end loop. Right, quick bug check. What's wrong with this? And I'm going to pause.